Welcome Aries to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 11th of March for the Sun, the Ascendant, and if you choose, the Moon too. So on the screen now you can see your chart wheel for this week. Let's check out your ruler Mars. That's always important to do. And he's up there in House 11, which can be very much to do with social interaction, friendliness, and Venus is pretty close by, and Pluto's in that area of your situation too. But you know, Mars is clashing with Uranus. So you can see Uranus down there in House 2. House 2 is our values, our everyday money, but also our self-worth. I think as you come into this week, there may be a friend or some kind of connection you have where it has been quite tense. Maybe you are feeling a little bit rebellious about how you use your resources, but it's possible that there may be a divergence between how you see something and how that other person does, or that group of people does too. Now, because you've got Mercury having just joined in your sign, Mercury in your sign is very quick and hot, inclined to make much more impulsive decisions, but it's being anchored in a positive way by Pluto up there above Mars in the sign of Aquarius. And that gives you an opportunity to use your powers of analysis. Now, the sign of Aquarius for you is very much about future planning. So as much as something may have been a bit turbulent, or there may have been an issue of trust and insincerity or even dishonesty that you experienced towards the end of last week as Mercury merged with Neptune and then we had the new moon, I think it is possible that as you come into this new week, you can see that the moon is right on the anaretic point as we enter Monday, but it's just about to move into your sign. So immediately it's connecting with Mercury. So if you have felt on the end of something, if you felt that someone's not been very upfront, or you felt in some ways excluded, very quickly you're going to move into feeling in the present, and that can be very valuable to you. Also, worth noting that the North Node and Chiron do retain their unity through to the end of March. Okay, it's no longer exact, but they are very close together. So almost immediately on Monday, you get 4 planets in your sign. So a chance to take greater control. So I feel last week's new moon for you is very valuable if you are someone who's been a little bit reluctant to look at the more psychological side of your nature or your situation. But equally, what may have happened is that a situation occurred where you've been surprised or blindsided, or perhaps your own lack of clarity about a situation has left you a little bit unsure, and maybe you are feeling quite fiery as you come into this new week because of Mars in that right angle with Uranus. However, that moon moving quickly and swiftly to join up with Mercury gives you a chance to think quickly, to recalibrate. And the key thing to tell you is that as this week draws on, the Sun is going to be combining with Neptune, and there could be like a repeat of last week's energy in terms of Mercury applying to Neptune. But this time I feel you've learned a lot of lessons, particularly about trust and who you can really rely on. Or if you've been resisting looking at some vulnerabilities, really somehow or another something happened which may have made you much more conscious that you do have them, because we all have them. But by the end of this week, when we have that quarter moon in Gemini, which is very quick moving and speedy, I think also this can help you to start pushing back a little bit in terms of any situation where you feel there has been some undermining of you, where not necessarily someone's told you straight up to your face what the problem is. So if there's been an absence of physical vitality, you felt overwhelmed, you felt very sensitive, you felt your emotions were very turbulent and maybe on the edge of actually losing your temper at times. As you come into this week, I feel you are going to gain more control. And what last week has done, and the new moon is pushing you to do, is to be much more conscious of the need not to ignore anything which is the more difficult part of ourselves and life and other people. But certainly trust is an important issue at the present time, particularly with Saturn in the 12th house for you. So by the end of this week, you may be quite happy to just chill out a little bit, but it's all preparing you for that new, explosive new beginning in the following week when the sun returns to your sign. We have the spring equinox, and it really becomes Aries time. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand more serious astrology, check out my special chart offer. You can get your forecast and your character analysis for 30% off. Searing insights, totally unique to you. Please see the link beneath this video for more.